Hello Indie Warriors, and welcome to I Dream of Indie Games. My name is Old Gamer Joe, and I gotta say, March was a pretty sweet month for indie releases. April's looking even better, believe it or not, though. Here are 10 of the most anticipated releases for April 2024 in the indie scene. As always, we thank you so much for supporting independent content. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy what you see here, and head on over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames, where you can gain Discord access, early ad-free shows, shoutouts at the end of every video we produce, and even free games depending on the tier you select. Your new indie chariot awaits. Alright then, let's get right into it. With number 10, we have one coming from Moon Studios on April 18th. They are perhaps best known for the Ori games, Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of Wisps. We're talking about No Rest for the Wicked, which is an action RPG. Looks like they're kind of getting into Souls territory with this one as well. I love the old-timey medieval vibe they're going for. This one follows the death of the great King Harald. This leads to a new king who isn't exactly the most popular guy in town, named Magnus. On top of that, the world is being swarmed by an evil pestilence, which, by the way, was my favorite Magic card. I had a zombie deck back in the day. Did y'all play Magic? Let me know in the comments below. Hopefully it's not too challenging for a chump like me who sucks at Souls games, but I think I'll manage to get through a cool story. They are saying this is a precision-based combat system, and that the game will also feature online multiplayer, a full co-op mode, so you won't have to go it alone. All told, it looks like No Rest for the Wicked is shaping up to be pretty sweet, and I won't get any rest playing it so much. I wonder if the developers are fans of Cage the Elephant. Once again, you can look forward to this early access build on the 18th of April. I guess I should have gone in release order looking back on it now, but screw it, we're just gonna roll with it here because they're all April releases at the end of the day. Next, we're going to talk about Sons of Valhalla, which releases on the 5th. This is a game that's been in development for a long time. We've played a few early builds of it over maybe the last year or so. Comes to us from developer Pixel Chest and publisher Hooded Horse. You have Vikings, swords, resource management, death and despair. The pixel art is looking pretty nice, and there's actually a lot of different systems here that might make my head spin a little bit. This isn't my normal genre, but I'm super interested because, again, just like the last game we talked about, I love swords and sorcery and violence and Vikings and knights and all that cool stuff. It looks like I can either be a hero and take the front line, or I can be a wuss and let my soldiers do all the dirty work for me. I guess I'll find out if I survive on the 5th. Looks like Devolver Digital is fairly busy to start the year. They first had Pepper Grinder released last month, and now they have Children of the Sun launching on the 9th from Renee Rother. This looks like a fusion of tactical shooter meets puzzle game, and I'm here for it, especially with a dark theme. Of course it's a dark theme. Pretty much every Devolver Digital game seems to have a dark theme. Make a happy game one of these days, maybe. No? That's probably not what your fans want. You play as, quote, the girl in a battle against the cult. Those are some heavy names there. This isn't your ordinary tactical shooter though, no. You are in control of a single one bullet, and you need to guide it all the way along to kill everything in your path and be successful. Even better, the game features a full scoring system and leaderboards. Make your one shot count, you might only get one in life. Moving right along, April 16th, we have Harold Halibut. I think like the fish. This game takes place in an ocean setting, sort of, so that would make sense, right? Very trippy looking art style to this cinematic adventure, for sure. Taking place in an alien ocean, it has heavy themes of friendship and love. You, of course, play as Harold, a scientist. Science! The game uses a very cool stop-motion style. It has full-on voice acting for you to enjoy, and apparently a good sense of humor too, so I can't wait to get my hands on it. Looking forward to meeting you, Harold. Okay then, a game that needs no introduction, at least from where I'm standing. We're talking about Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, one that I am actually a backer for, one of the rare games that I have backed in my life. I've not done a lot of kickstarting in my day, so I'm really excited about this. Looks awesome so far. I am a huge Suikoden fan, so for a game to be inspired by one of my favorite JRPGs, well then, of course I'm super pumped about it. There'll be over 100 characters once again, kind of like how you would collect so many different characters in Suikoden. The art looks awesome. It's going to be fully voice acted as well. Great turn-based combat, similar to Suikoden as well, where your party just kind of rushes enemies. very much looking forward to playing this one. The #1 funded Kickstarter game of all time, so I was glad to be a part of that. If you've been a fan of this channel for a while, then you know that I'm a big fan of Souls games having accessibility options, which makes me really excited about this next title, which does just that. We're talking about another Crab's Treasure, an underwater Souls-like with a very quirky, fun sense of humor, great combat. I actually played the demo for this one, so I can in fact tell you that the combat is a lot of fun. You'll collect a variety of different shells to equip to yourself and battle your foes that way, and the whole thing just looks silly, fun, and I'm very much looking forward to playing it. The best part about the whole thing, you can whip out a giant gun and blast down those Soul-style bosses in a single shot if they start to piss you off too much. Souls not your thing and looking for a little bit of fun, stylish stealth? Well then how about Ereban, Shadow Legacy, which releases on the 10th. You can play it on PC and Xbox. You'll take control of lead character Eiyuden, using an assortment of magical abilities and high-tech gadgets to battle your way through enemies. Well, I shouldn't say battle, you want to sneak around them. It is a stealth game after all. One cool feature of this game is you have some options when dealing with enemies. You can spare them, or you can consume them. The sci-fi setting looks nice, visuals are looking great here, and I'm very excited to learn more about it. Did you ever dream about playing a top-down Zelda fused with a twin-stick shooter? Well, now you'll get your opportunity, and no, I've never dreamed about that either, but saying it out loud just now has me pretty excited. For Minishoot Adventures, which comes to us from Soul Game Studio, this small indie is indeed a twin-stick shooter, but you'll be exploring dungeons, gathering treasures, taking down bosses, all while avoiding bullet hell craziness. This game is awesome, I can attest to that because my full review is live on the channel right now, so be sure to check that out. What a strange road this next game has traveled. It's been delayed. It just seems like this game has struggled to get to the market, but April 10th, finally, it looks like Broken Roads will get released. And this is after dealing with the loss of a publisher. It looks like the publishing rights have gone back over to Tiny Build. This post-apocalyptic RPG does look like it has a lot of promise. Very clearly, it is inspired by some of the great indies out there like Disco Elysium, but also other AAA games like the Fallout series. There's a full moral compass in this game, so you'll have to question your own morality and decide if you're going to be good or evil. Like, remember when Fable promised that big in-depth system and it wasn't actually that in-depth? Kind of like that, but hopefully better. Just kidding, I actually like the original Fable despite its shortcomings. This one also takes place in Australia, which is a cool setting for a game of this style. I'm looking forward to seeing just what happens with Broken Roads. So as you can see, April is chock full of some amazing looking indie games, and there's even more that aren't on this list, so be excited folks. Let's close it out with a great looking first person shooter, kind of a retro vibe to it, has an action movie feel as well. We're talking about Phantom Fury, which comes to us from Slipgate Ironworks and 3D Realms. That's a name that y'all should know. April 23rd, you can blast your way through this one. The environments look very interactive. You can shoot down helicopters, destroy all kinds of things in the background, and you'll do it with an assortment of weapons. In fact, there are over 20 different weapons for you to use in the game. Lots of skills for you to unlock as well, so you'll just get stronger and cooler and more of a badass the more you play. And it looks like you even fly. It kind of reminds me of Descent at one point. Old school series if you've never heard of that one. But I am old after all. This list is awesome though, and not old or out of date yet. It will be in a year though if you watch this a year from now. I'm sorry, all these games are out. I am Joe Stradamus from the future. As always, we thank you so much for supporting independent content. We hope you found the next indie of your dreams on this list and are as excited for April as we are. Patreon.com/idreamofindiegames if you would like to support us further. Onward, our work has just begun.